All right, guys, we're live. Sorry we're a little late. We're going to wait till a few people jump on the live. I have Jeffro, a.k.a. also known as Jeremiah McCoy. We're going to be talking about food. We're going to be talking about wrestling. And he's going to be actually talking. That's crazy. All right, just stick around. Go ahead, share the live, share the feed, share everything. We are live on Twitch. We are live on Facebook. Hit us up, get questions going, and let us know what's up. All right, and just a reminder for some people here in the live, this is not Vertigo the Cure. I don't know why it still has it up there, but I'm going to have to change that later on. This is Jeffro, also known as Jeremiah McCoy. For some reason on my Facebook, I just noticed that it was coming up as Vertigo the Cure. We're going to get started here in about 2 minutes. Please have questions ready. And we're going to actually hear Jeffro talk. Yes, Nina. Also, yes, I appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe. Nina's gonna drop. She's my moderator. She is gonna drop the link tree here. Subscribe, keep following, watch, share, all that good stuff. All right, we're live. We are here with one of my good friends, one of my tag partners. This is Jeffro, aka Jeremiah McCoy. You're ugly as hell. So let's start with what we're having today. I made him some tacos because he loves tacos, and I will have a disclaimer here because I had Jesus here on the show a few days ago. This is not authentic Mexican tacos. These are my variation of tacos. What we have going on is we have shredded chicken tacos with verde sauce. We have a refried bean and some white rice, and this was his dinner for today. That's what it is. So now that we have the crazy here in the house right now, he's actually going to talk, y'all. So tell us about yourself, how long you've been wrestling, what got you into wrestling, and all that good stuff. All that gimmicky stuff.
All the gimmicky stuff.
Oh my God, he talks.
I know. The first word is gimmick, too. Been wrestling almost 21 years. What got me into it is growing up in Florida, of course. So basically, wrestling capital of the world.
Right.
And going to Eddie Graham Sports Stadium as a kid.
Now, for those that don't know where Eddie Grant Sports Stadium is. Where is that?
Well, you gotta look at it. I was like 2 or 3 years old when I was going there. So
Right. That's down here in Florida.
It was down here in Florida. It's close around the Orlando area and stuff.
Okay.
I was 2 or 3 years old before I can even remember where exactly or even be able to drive there myself. It was already gone. But of course, this was back in the early '80s. My dad used to go there. Wasn't every weekend or something like that, even though they would come around maybe once a month or every week or something like that.
Right.
I couldn't remember. Like I said, I'm 2 or 3 years old at the time when he was going, but he would just go there with a bunch of his friends, and he would actually take me. And what he told me as I as I got older was I was memorized by it.
Right.
And I remember asking him years ago. He went with me to a show in St. Pete, and we were driving back from St. Pete and stuff. And I asked him, I was like, "When did you realize that I wanted to do this?" He said, "When you were about 2."
Nice. So, when you went to these shows, who did you see that drew you into wrestling?
Well, it's the not remembering, like I said, because I was young, not remembering the Eddie Graham Sports Stadium days, but coming up, it was mostly Hulk Hogan, back in the 80s and stuff like that.
Right.
And then NWA came around, and then I was mesmerized by looking at Sting, Luger. I really didn't, you gotta look at it. I'm growing up, I'm a little kid, I'm more of a fan, so I didn't too much care for the Harley races or the Ric Flairs or anything like that, the bad guys, or what we say, the heels and stuff like that.
Right.
Until I got older, and then I realized of what they were doing, what their jobs were, and then that's what drew me into the heel part of wrestling.
Okay.
I feel that the heels actually are the ones that tell the story and lead the baby.
Right. And the baby being the good guy, for those of you that don't know what that is. Let's look into this chat. I see the chat going here. I usually read the chats while we're doing the interviews and stuff. So let me see. That face, haha. Oh my God, the face. Why he look like that? Got a better setup than me. I appreciate it. He talks. Nate sent me, "Let's go, Pops." I think that's probably your son, maybe.
Probably, yeah, more likely.
Thanks. Welcome. Where's your sub? Yo. I don't know who it is, but what's up? Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, guys. I appreciate all the love. Please share the live and keep it going. Keep it moving. We're on Facebook and we are on Twitch.
At least I know I keep my facials alive for the gimmick.
You really do, man. So this being Kayfabe Kitchen, you already had some of these tacos and stuff. What'd you think about the food, man?
It was very good. The green sausage.
Oh, the verde sauce?
Oh, yes. You did make a lot of it. I am taking some of it, if not all of it, home. So.
No, you're good, man. You're good. So what type of food do you have to have either before a show or after a show consistently? Like, this is like, you need to have this, or this is always your go-to?
I never really had a go-to. I mean, when I first came into business, I didn't eat like I eat now today. I eat a little bit more conscious, a little bit more healthier and stuff like that. In my early 20s and stuff, I'd stop by a Chinese restaurant and grab a pint of lo mein or fried rice or something, and I'd be in the locker room eating that, and I'm just like, the guys in the locker room are sitting there looking at me going, "You sure you're gonna?" I'd go in there and I would wrestle 10, 15, 20 minutes with a pint of lo mein in my belly. But now today it's more, if I don't make my own meal prep, it's a Subway. You can't be going there and getting a Subway sub. And I would eat that in the locker room, and I usually eat that a couple hours before the show, and then probably, depending on when my match is, I like to eat a protein bar, give or take about 30, 45 minutes before I actually go on, just so that way I do have something in my system before I go on.
So it's funny, right? Me and you've been friends, 3 years now?
About 2
3 years.
I seen you. We didn't really start talking. But it was like around 2017.
All right.
End of 2017. when you and Ashley started to come around WXW is when I first met y'all. You guys came in with Hound Dog, and then we really didn't hit it off or really start talking until around 2018 when we kind of got put together with the Team Extreme.
Right. So I remember around the time we met, you used to come to the shows a lot with with the freaking Publix chicken.
It was Walmart. It was
Walmart.
I used to come. I was on a little kick at that time where I was 300 pounds before,
right,
and I was trying to eat a little healthier and stuff like that. And another wrestler, let me know. He's like, yeah, bro. He goes, get a whole chicken. Just go grab like a rotisserie chicken and just eat on that all day long on show days. So I would go like early in the morning when they're fresh, get them, and I would literally let it cool off at home instead of just bringing the whole container with the whole chicken. I would literally pull it apart, literally shred it, put it in a container, so I can just pick on it throughout the day, like literally throughout the day. Just eat this whole chicken.
All right, so let me go through these comments again. Let's see. Get it together. He's scary. All gingers are. I'm falling.
Because we'll take your soul.
I'm falling apart literally. Yes, we are. I will get you some duct tape. I don't know what the hell's going on here. Most or least favorite match ever.
It was.
So let's say, what's your favorite match ever?
There was actually two of them.
All right, what is it?
One of my favorite matches is actually only because of how much I learned in such a short period of time. It would actually be my fourth match I'd ever had, and it was actually in the ring with Alex Porto.
Right.
And me and him went in, and we talked a little bit backstage and stuff. He knew I was coming in. I was as green could be at the time. My fourth match, I was straight up with him. And then I was kind of thinking, my fourth match, I just told this guy, he's going to just beat my ass. But we went in, we locked up, and literally he guided me.
And big shout out to Alex Porto and Pro Wrestling 2.0.
But yeah, he guided me around the ring, and it was one of those, you make it look like you're running, but you're not really running.
Right.
In the ring. Take your time. And then, of course, my match I had with Gangrel was a very good match. I mean, rest in peace to her. Luna was at ringside with him at the time.
Right.
So just be able to sit back in the locker room, talk with them, and then just went out there nervous as hell that day. I went off somewhere, and next you know, he wasn't there. I showed back up, and all of a sudden someone comes up to me and goes, "He's here." And I'm like,
deer in headlights.
"Who's here?" And he's like, "Gangrel's here." I'm like, so, but yeah, both of them were very, very nice, and I learned a lot in that match as well. I punched Gangrel in the eye. He punted me in the ribs later on, and we went on to have a good match.
That was great. Let me see. Eats the protein bar through Hannibal Mask.
I do.
You gotta pick me up on the first floor. All right, whatever. Favorite gimmick, not yours, in the indies or in the big time?
I wouldn't. It's kind of hard. I mean,
see, for me, personally, I don't know if I would say it's a gimmick because I feel like he lives this real life too. Jake the Snake. That's me.
There is Jake the Snake. I mean, you gotta look at it. A lot of the gimmicks, when I was growing up, were the very cartoony.
Oh, they were horrible, man.
Very cartoony.
They were so horrible.
I mean, it basically everything you saw at the time that was gimmicks, and that's what it was. Like growing up,
the Repo Man.
But he was part of Demolition before that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I mean, you gotta look at WWE or F or whatever, right. Of course, back then at WWF, they were the very cartoon, and I think that's what drew me in a little bit more towards WWF as a kid because it was that cartoony gimmicks,
Oh my
Big
God.
Boss Man.
You remember Saturday morning cartoons? The WWF cartoon.
Oh yeah,
Bro, I love that
oh,
show.
of course.
Junkyard Dog was my homie, man.
But then you look at NWA, and WCW and stuff like that. They weren't really gimmicks there. They were them.
They were workers.
That was
they
those were the workers.
They were the workhorses.
So they drew in more of the adults, and then of course, it slowly, it drew me in as we got older. NWA, WCW drew us in. I don't know if it'll say it was my favorite, but I mean, just Undertaker's run, period, with that gimmick.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and originally when it first came in, it was, I don't say it wasn't a cartoony gimmick, but it was a gimmick. But he lived it for 30 plus years.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Legitly.
And there's not a lot of people in the industry that can.
Well, it's like, now, I'm talking now, but I've been Death Row Jethro for 19 years, almost 20 years. And this wasn't even a gimmick I came up with.
But it works.
It works.
It works.
I literally have grown into it over the years. When I first started when I started doing this gimmick, I got little bullet points of how the guy wanted the gimmick ran.
Right.
So I was like, all right, let me try to run with this. And the hardest thing I had is my best feature I have now, which is my facials.
Yeah.
And because I can't talk.
I mean,
and a lot of people who sit there and go, oh well, he can't talk and anything like that. I do all of my communicating with my eyes, with my facials, with my body. I feel that it's harder for you to connect with an audience without saying words, and all you have is your eyes, your facials, your body expressions, the way you look at people, the way you walk towards people, and it literally, worked that over the last 19 plus years to perfect of what I'm doing now.
So let's go back to the food real quick. So give me a road story, right? Because everybody has one. That you picked up something on the road and you ate it and it didn't sit right on you. And I'm pretty sure it happened in the ring somewhere.
I've never had an accident in the ring like that.
Thank God. Me neither.
I mean, yeah, knock on wood, because I'm still
real.
going. But no, I've heard stories of other guys, yes, that had a little bit of bubble guts going into a match and thought they could make it. Knock on wood, I've never had that.
Oh
I mean,
gosh.
it's and even surprising with, like I said, when I was younger, picking up the Chinese food. I mean, it was literally just I ordered it, it sat in there, got it, and I'm maybe either, depending if I'm riding with somebody, I'm eating it in the passenger seat, or I'll just wait and get to the venue and eat it then. But surprisingly, it didn't happen then. Now, did I feel like crap after I got out of the ring? Oh yeah, of course. But anything in the ring, never. Right. Thank God.
We got a question here. What are some of the things you enjoy doing? So I would assume outside of wrestling. What are some of the things you enjoy doing? I know you love football.
Oh, of course.
You're a huge football fan. I know you are a big Tampa Bay Bucks fan.
Yes.
And you're a huge Gators fan. I know that. Look at that. He's a huge Seminoles fan. That's why I said that.
It's very heartbreaking to say, but yes, Florida State and of course Tampa Bay. The Lightning as well.
Oh yeah, high five on that.
Of course, on the Lightning.
But what are some of the things you enjoy doing though outside of wrestling?
Honestly, I really don't do much. I mean, outside of wrestling, besides going to my shoot job that I have, is I like to just come home and just relax.
Well, lately, you guys don't know this. Me and him are really close. Like, we're super close. Not only we were tag partners.
Not that close.
No, we're probably that close. Not only we were tag partners and stuff, but he is also here every other time, or he kidnaps my baby half the time. Because
I don't.
His wife does, but there's a baby in the house.
There's a 6 or 7 month or an 8 month or whatever, depending on when it is. When I get home from work, there's a child. I have grown kids, and then there's a baby running around when I get home.
And this big evil, eyeball-y, scary guy, as soon as he sees Malik,
Malik punches me in the face.
Yeah. As soon as he sees the baby, and he melts down. So, let me see. What is your favorite dessert?
Pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie? Really? Why pumpkin pie?
It just
What is it? Is it like the allspice in it, or like?
it's just when I was a kid, I ate pumpkin pie. Like there's the cheesecake. Cheesecake's very close second.
Yeah.
But growing up,
I got cheesecake in the fridge, so I do.
So don't tempt me. But no, it's just growing up, and almost anything pumpkin. Like right now, this time of season,
Oh my God, you're like.
But trust me,
white bitch.
but no, I was about to say. That's what I was about to say. No, I'm not the basic white bitch. But no, this time of year, it's the pumpkin spice stuff.
So you're like more of a like fall wintry type dessert person.
Well, Halloween is my favorite.
Well, yeah,
time of year. So I mean,
what about sweet potato pie?
I like that, not as much as my wife.
Right.
But yes, sweet potato.
Because that's kind of a close.
I would get that because you gotta look at it. Pumpkin pie is not. I think the reason why pumpkin pie is my favorite is because it's not an all around thing, an all year thing. It's a good pumpkin pie. A good pumpkin pie is a seasonal.
Yeah. Let me see here. Hell yeah, I love pumpkin pie. So let's get to a real question. A real hard hitting question, guys. Something everybody wanted to know. We need to get to the bottom of this.
I will not marry you, no.
No, I know you won't. I'm not your type. But let's get to
not dark enough.
I hate you so much. We're gonna get to the real hard hitting question, man.
Okay.
Something everybody really wants to know.
Uh-oh.
And it's really important. And we discussed this offline. Like, is there anything you don't want to talk about, you want to talk about, but I'm just going to get to it right now. Like, seriously.
What's up?
What's your favorite cartoon?
Thundercats. Come on
Thundercats.
now. Thundercats.
I freaking love Thundercats, man. Julio, Vertigo, shout out to Vertigo. He was here the last show, and Thundercats was one of his favorites, and I hung out with him last week at his new place, and he has a Sword of Omen, and I wanted to steal that.
Why didn't you?
Listen,
it's only Vertigo.
All right, Thundercats. That's one of the.
Volley's a different story. Vertigo.
Oh, somebody says sweet potato pie is superior to pumpkin pie. Sorry, that's personal. That's a personal thought. So Thundercats. As you see, like I'm an anime fan. You look around this room, there's a few anime posters here and stuff like that. So what was one of your all-time favorite foods that you're like, yo, I could eat this forever?
Besides tacos?
Besides tacos.
Lasagna. I mean, not just. I mean, literally.
I just made lasagna.
Straight like homemade ricotta cheese. Like literally, take all day to make.
Oh, I can make ricotta cheese fresh.
Like
I just made some lasagna like a week ago.
Just growing up, anytime we had a family reunion or family, not even really
like a gathering,
reunion, but just a family gathering, it was lasagna was. We're not Italian. I mean, we're straight white people.
White trash.
With maybe a speck of a Native American somewhere in there, but lasagna was like the dish,
right? And
it wasn't one of those let's go grab it or a cheap thrown together. It was literally
that was your focal point. Was that lasagna?
Yeah, it was. It was made in this black, just like football shaped pan. I don't know where my mom got it at. The thing was so deep, and she literally, it was like a 10-layer lasagna.
Jeez.
And I mean, but it had to feed 30 people at a time. That's
crazy. So let's get into a story here. Let's get into how you decided to work with WXW.
So I've had 2 stints with WXW.
Right. WXW, now, side note, for those of you that don't know, is run by Hall of Famer Alpha, one half of the Wild Samoans. Shout out to WXW and Pops. Love you, Pops.
But so years ago, I want to say WXW Pops and Mom had probably moved down here about a year. Have been down in Florida for a year from Pennsylvania.
Right.
And they set up shop. They started running WXW down here. Some of the guys that actually started a little bit after I did, or around about the same time, knew about WXW. I want to say I got off to a slow start with my career. Right. You know, I would do certain shows here and there. Then it was kind of like, am I good enough to work for these guys over here? Right. I don't know. So I just jumped in my car one day and I drove to WXW. I was like, I don't have another show. I'm not doing anything else. Let me just show up. Someone told me, hey, get there early. Everyone sets up the ring. It's like a family thing. Everyone works. Everyone helps put up. Everyone helps tear down. Right. It's like, all right, cool. I can do that. Because I had been going to school. You put up a ring. You tear down a ring. Yeah, you do everything. You pay your dues. Pay your dues while you're training. So.
And you still, side note, you still pay your dues even after training. Like,
oh yeah,
been doing this 20 some odd years. You still put up a ring.
I still help put up a ring.
You still tear down a ring. Just so you guys know, there's never ever an end of paying your dues.
No,
it's respect.
It's I don't even really say it's paying your dues, but it is respect.
It's respect.
It's respect for the business.
It's respect because you love doing what you're doing.
Right.
And for me, it's like I'm a chef. I have a sous chef, yes, but at the same time, I'm still gonna cut up my veggies. I'm still gonna cut everything up and do my prep work. I'm not gonna have somebody else do it. I should be able to do it myself too.
It's because you're a stickler. You want them cut a certain way. That's why.
Shut the fuck up. But go ahead, go on with your story.
So yeah, I showed up, and when I walked in, there's Alpha, there's Ricky Santana. I want to say Jimmy Snuka was there that day, my first day there. I can't remember. But then there was other guys that I had seen at other shows that were there. Sugar was there, first time I'd ever met him. Dylan Knight.
Right.
And then there was other guys, you know, there was Simon Says was there. Biff Slater was there. A bunch of other guys. So I went in, helped set up the ring. And the one good thing about Pops is you show up, you help put up the ring, they see you. If they have a spot for you, they'll put you in. They had a spot for me, they put me in the ring.
Right.
They told me, I was like, oh, we need you. I was working Lou Cypher.
Lou Cypher.
So my very first match.
Big ol' Lou.
My very first match in WXW was against Lou Cypher. And at the time, he was being pushed as this monster heel. And so.
I got a story about Lou, too.
I think everybody has a story about Lou. So I'm doing Death Row. I come in there, and that's all I've ever been doing. Mm-hmm. Besides the I don't even get into the cheesy gimmicks I did beforehand. The wannabe Eminem.
No, we're not going to get into that. So, we're not going to get into that. We all had cheesy gimmicks, so it's all right.
So I told Pops, I'm like, Pops, this, you know, I came in my orange jumpsuit and everything. I was like, Pops, this, and he goes, son, it's just what you have to do. Maybe, you know, one day we'll, you know, but right now we need you to do this. Okay. So here I am, Jethro, trying to stay as much in character as I can, but I have to play up the baby part.
Right.
Went in there, had a match, put Lou over, and then I get backstage to not really a great job, but almost like a learning experience. This is what you could have done better. This is what, and even up to now, every time I get out of the ring, you can do this better. You can do that better. It's always a learning experience.
And it's never, and I hate when some people take it as a negative thing. It's never a negative thing, guys. Like, it's positive criticism. It's always, like you said, it's always a learning experience. Like, never take it for granted. Like, people come tell you, like, hey, you know what? You know, why did you take that bump? You know, you're bigger. Why would you take a bump from somebody smaller? Just the little things, you know, stuff like that.
That's what I get yelled at a lot about.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So we got, let me see. Labor of Love, Lasagna. How did y'all become tag team? We'll get into that in a minute.
Accident.
He won't let me do anything. It really was an accident. He won't let me do anything. Oh, when we were talking about the prepping stuff. All right, so how do we become a tag team? Wow. All right, so we both could tell the story, I guess. There was a time at WXW where I had just come in. Ashley came in. We had Jarrell. We had Ronnie. You. And, like, all of us were, like...
It was kind of... They didn't have anything for us.
We were the misfits. Like, we had nothing going on.
And it was kind of hard to say that I was a misfit, not trying to put anything back down on you guys. But it was... I mean, literally, I lost my manager at the time, Rico Moon, because Rico Moon, outside of wrestling, does a lot of movies, TV, stunt work. Whatever it is, that they need for him to do, lighting work, whatever it is. And he got pulled to go to Georgia to film. I can't remember. It was a Netflix show that they were doing.
Right. But
he got pulled to, and I was like, dude, go do that. So that happened, and then of course I was the WXW champion. I lose the title, and then literally the very next shows we all kind of get put together. Mm-hmm. Not really, it's kind of, I was getting my rematch for the title, and everyone came out with me.
Yeah.
Y'all got sent to the back. I did my match, and then basically
we got put together.
Basically we got put together. It was kind of more of a, like anyone who's watched WXW has seen several versions of the Team Extreme.
Oh yeah.
This was our version of the Team Extreme that got put together.
I think it's the very last version of Team Extreme right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it was just basically, Jarrell was the leader. He would do his singles. Ronnie was going to be our cruiserweight, and basically me and you were just, we kind of got put together as a tag team, even though it was all like,
and Ashley was,
we could flip around, anybody could be the tag, but mostly me and you just became, we were the tag. Me and you were the ones tagging the night that we won the tag team titles.
Right. And then Ashley was the female division of Team Extreme, obviously.
I wouldn't say, it was kind of a, we needed something to do. They needed to find something for us to do. And even before they even told me about it, I kind of like, okay, I need something. And then I'd seen them kind of slowly putting this together. And I was like, and then I went and I told the office, I was like, hey, why don't, oh yeah, we were thinking the same thing, putting you. But I was like, all right, cool. And we took off and ran with it for about a year and a half.
We did. And we, ironically, I would say we had lightning in a bottle with WXW because we came up with this mob gimmick and ran with it.
We did.
We came up with this mob gimmick.
I started wearing a dress shirt with suspenders.
Oh my god! Like that was the most. It was hard to wrestle in fucking slacks, shoes, and a dress shirt, but it worked for us.
Mr. Hughes did it.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like it worked for us, and we won the WXW tag team titles. We were on a roll, and we started going to other companies. We were winning titles there and doing our thing there, and it was fun. It was a good time. Like we had fun. I say this now, and always or whatever. I've had other tag partners, but I gotta say, hands down, he is one of my closest friends, and because of that, he is one of my best tag partners I've ever had. So I appreciate all of that we've done together. Let me see. Look at some of these comments here. He won't let me do anything. If you could wrestle anyone, who would it be?
Dead or alive?
Dead or alive, yeah.
Right now.
Right now.
I wish I had the opportunity. I did a bunch of shows with him, but I wanted to work New Jack.
New Jack? All right. You gotta ask Jarrell about New Jack.
I've asked Jarrell about New Jack plenty of times. He doesn't want to hear about it.
I would say me personally. I think if there's anybody I want to wrestle, it would be Bam Bam. For me, it would be Bam Bam. Bam Bam was like my idol. I watch him, I study him, and all that good stuff.
Like I couldn't tell with your headbutts.
Oh, shut up. Also, who is the scariest opponent, and why is it your wife?
why is it my wife? I mean, yeah, that you literally just answered it right there. I really haven't had. I mean, when you say scary opponent, is as far as like just being intimidated, like knowing that I have to go into the ring and do something with this person, and it was honestly it was Gangrel.
Gangrel.
Only for the simple fact because I think when I wrestled Gangrel, I was only 23.
Right.
23 years old. I'm 40 now.
Right. So
this was besides wrestling Alex Porto that night. This was the very next time, and it was almost 2-3 years later because I was even longer because I was still 19 when I wrestled Porto, and then here I am 23 years old for No Name Wrestling NNW. Shout out to Les Allier, Local Pro Wrestling as well.
Shout out to Local Pro, absolutely, and Local Pro and Division Pro.
Division Pro this Saturday.
Division Pro.
But Gangrel. And then after that, it kind of just... When I actually had this match with him, I built more of a confidence.
Right.
That this is not... Because to me, it was, okay, can I really do this? And I always doubt myself. You know, I have guys that come up to you and a bunch of other guys.
Right.
But like a lot of guys, you are your biggest critic. Absolutely. And I am my biggest critic. I get out of the ring and people go, oh, that was a good match. That was a great match. That was this. But to me, I wasn't happy. Not happy with it.
Yeah.
When I do feel like I have a good match, it's kind of like that reversal. You come out of the ring, you're like, oh my god, that was such a great match, and then people are like, well, what the hell was that? And you're just like, so it's my biggest critic. I mean, I'm always looking to better myself each and every time. So, but yeah, Gangrel that night, most intimidating person I had to work to this date, only because I didn't have that confidence that I have now.
Right. All right, so let me see here. We got favorite female wrestler, and why is it me? That's Ashley, obviously. All right, so just kidding. Who is your actual favorite female wrestler?
Going on right now, only because of the style. Alexa Bliss, I really like what she's doing right now.
Okay.
They're working. They're keeping the whole thing with Bray Wyatt through her alive,
right,
in a way. But before that, China.
Rest in peace, China. Miss you. I want to say female wrestler. It's hard to pinpoint one of my favorite ones. But for me, favorite currently right now, Britt Baker. Only because
that match that she had where she got hard weighted, what really has
with
solidified her.
Yes,
that's what really has solidified her. The same way the broken nose solidified Becky Lynch.
Oh, absolutely.
So it was, I don't know, it's something about a female bleeding or getting busted open and just automatically solidifies you as like you are it.
Like for me, it's a hard toss up for me because Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa is a badass. Love her. And one of our sisters, Mercedes Martinez. Mercedes. Shout out to Mercedes. But Mercedes is hands down a fucking beast.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that because she's our sister or anything like that. Like, she is a true fucking beast. Hopefully I can get her on the show, but she's an amazing talent. She's an amazing worker. She's been doing this for, I think, same time as you.
About as long as I have.
20-some years.
About a little bit longer, I think.
She's in the WXW Hall of Fame. She former WWE. Like, she's amazing. And it's hard to say favorite female wrestler, but like I said, that is my top three right now. It's Mercedes, Thunder Rosa, and Britt Baker. Because just watching them is like, I'm scared of Thunder Rosa. I'm literally scared of her. So, if you could change one thing about the wrestling business, what would it be?
For people to have more respect for it. I feel a lot of guys, and it's not even a lot of them. Like, I'm actually starting to see a lot more of the younger guys today have a lot more respect.
Yeah.
For what we do. They don't come right in and think that they're superstars right away. And that was one of the cases a while ago that a lot of the younger guys came in, and I don't know if it was because of where they got trained at, what they were told, but all of a sudden they just came in like they just
superstar to everybody.
Like, oh, I need this, you know. It's like, wait a minute, you show up at a show and everything, and a lot of these guys don't even put in what we call windshield time.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, I was never guaranteed a show. I just got in my car every Saturday, and I drove. I mean, I drove to Valdosta, Georgia, because I knew there was a show there. I just drove to Valdosta, Georgia on a whim. Shout out to Tommy Dane in EPW up in Valdosta, Georgia. I was about a year and a half, 2 years, about a year and a half in. That was my first payday.
Nice.
I drove up to Valdosta, Georgia with Les Allier, Bones the Cutthroat. He called me and goes, hey, I'm going to Valdosta. You want to come? Sure. Jumped in the car, drove to Valdosta, wound up wrestling Les, and got my first payday in pro wrestling that night. $30.
I gotta say, for me, one thing I would change in this business, I kind of agree with you, the respecting and everything, but for me, it's mainly kayfabe. For me, I firmly
you see with my gimmick, I try to live the kayfabe.
This here is Kayfabe Kitchen, so we break the kayfabe here. But the thing is, I wish kayfabe was more alive. I think social media has killed kayfabe. The reason why I say that is
it did.
Like, a good example, AEW. I wanted to be surprised about CM Punk. I didn't want to hear from dirt sheets, hey, CM Punk signed. You know what I mean? Because back in the day, before social media,
everything was a surprise.
You remember when Lex Luger showed up to WCW? Holy shit.
Yeah.
Or when,
that right there.
Radishing Rick Rude. He was on Monday Night Raw, and then boom, Monday Night Nitro right next to it.
Yeah, like I said.
Same day.
Same night. Literally an hour apart.
And that was mind-blowing because we didn't know about it.
Well, you got to look at the whole Lex Luger thing. That kicked off everything. It was the very first Monday Night Nitro. I tuned in for it. I actually watched the pay-per-view the night before.
Right.
I didn't get a lot of pay-per-views when I was growing up, but, throughout the year. The four, well, of course, growing up, that was all it was. There was four pay-per-views a year when I was growing up. There was Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, Survivor Series, SummerSlam. Those were the big four, and those were the only ones you had.
And if you didn't have cable or you didn't order pay-per-view, you had to get a videotape from one of your friends so you could watch it.
So, yeah, to watch the pay-per-view the night before, see Luger there, and then tuning into Nitro. Oh, it's the first Nitro. I'm gonna watch it. See, and right at there, the opening match. It's Flair and Sting, and
boom,
out comes Luger, and you're like,
hold up.
Of course,
that's when we realized WWF was pre-recorded. They're not live.
Not really at the time. What kind of threw me that it was recorded was the night they announced Mankind.
Oh yeah,
and just like why everyone says the night that when they announced that Mankind was winning the title and this and that, I was just like the rest of the millions of people.
You got to watch it.
I turned off WCW and I went and I watched Mankind beat The Rock.
It's crazy because what we do in our business and everything, we try to keep kayfabe alive as much as we can. And it's really fun sometimes. It's fun when we mess with kids and stuff like that. And scare them and everything.
Well, I had a promotion that I wrestled for, Vintage Wrestling, and I would wrestle Death Row Jethro, and then after the show, they're like, "Oh, come out with us" and stuff like that. I'm like, "Dude, I'm supposed to be in jail. Like, that's you're gonna break my gimmick." No, it'll be fine. We'll tell him that you're his twin brother. And I was like, "What?" They're like, yeah. So
let me guess. This is what Simon Says.
Yes.
Shout out to Simon Says.
I love Simon.
That dude.
I love Simon to death. Simon, he actually helped me from where I was with Death Row, big time. Like literally big time. He literally helped me progress more Simon has a very great mind.
He does. Simon has touched a lot of people in wrestling in the Indies down here in Florida. Touched a lot of people in certain ways. Like our old manager, Justin Michaels. That was his mentor.
Yeah.
Like Simon Says was Justin's mentor. So I mean, Simon Says has a great mind for the business.
But what the Death Row you see today, if you would look back 10 years prior,
right?
I was Death Row, but I'm sitting there, I'm trying to give you hip tosses and doing all this.
Yeah.
He basically what you see today, he kind of started to put, you know, that version of Death Row Jethro into me, and then literally Pops helped finish it off. But yeah, I mean, big shout out to Simon Says.
Yeah, man.
For what he did for me with my career. Because honestly, and this is a shoot, and I've told this to Simon, I was about to retire. Like, just basically just, I don't know if I can say retire, but I was going to step away from wrestling.
Right.
And he called me up and he goes, hey, come with me. Only because of the simple fact I was doing the Death Row character. I didn't know what else to do. I tried to do another character. It just didn't. I tried to step away from Death Row Jethro. Tried to do another character because to do the gimmick properly, it wasn't being done properly.
Right.
The security, a manager at least. Here I am. I'm supposed to be an inmate. And I'm walking out, no handcuffs. The Hannibal Lecter mask hadn't even been a thought yet. That's another thing. Simon Says the iconic Hannibal Lecter mask that I wear to the ring now. That is all Simon Says.
Right.
That mask, the actual mask that I wear, was gifted by Simon Says to me.
There you go.
So
I didn't even know that. So
that was that, and that's a big thing for me. So I take care of that thing. It's that thing is, I pack it away differently in a bag. I make sure I take care of it. I know where its whereabouts are at all times, even when I'm in the ring. Like whenever it gets handed off or whenever it's taken off me, where's it going? Where is that mask going?
Yeah. As we're talking here, I notice a lot of things coming full circle, and it's ironic how it does. We get trained by like so many different people, and we get schooled by so many different people. Like Simon Says, for me, it was like Lindsay and everybody else, and stuff like that.
Basically, guys that kind of mentally.
Yeah,
took
like mentor us in different ways.
Well, and the whole thing is like a lot of those guys I started before them, but it's like it's not just a physical thing. There's a lot of mental when it comes to it. Like, how do you see things? And they saw things very quickly.
Right.
They learned how to see things, how to tell a story very quickly, and they were able to help us with, instead of doing this, do that. Instead of looking this way, look that way. Just the little things that I didn't get because I came up with a lot of the smaller promotions that really just get in the ring and just whatever, do this. There was really no storytelling to it. It was just get in the ring and just have a match.
Beat the crap out of them.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, that everything comes in a full circle. It's ironic because like who mentored you, who mentored me, and stuff like that. Like I said, you were Simon, me with, like I said, Lindsay and Jesus and everybody. But everybody, and you're going to agree when I say this, everybody was kind of taught by Pops in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because Pops always says, oh yeah, those are my kids. And then when you sit down and really think about it, a lot of people have worked for Pops. And
that, like I told you, that first night that I was at WXW, Simon Says was already there.
That's what I'm saying. And that's like, it's crazy because like you look at guys like Jay Lethal. Mm-hmm. He trained with Pops. Billy Kidman trained with Pops. Batista trained with Pops. Like you start thinking about Snitsky. You start running down the list on who has trained with Pops, and we're talking about Alpha, who has trained with him, or who has been his student, or who has worked for him, or whatever. And you really start thinking about the other people that mentored you and the other people that trained you. It all comes full circle because at some point in moment, they were with Pops. Mm-hmm. And then now here we are, we're with Pops.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because now we could pass that knowledge down to the next generation down.
Right.
And say, hey, this is what we've learned from Pops and stuff like that. So, again, I can't say it enough, but you know, shout out to Pop, shout out to Alpha. We love you, and thank you for everything you've done for us. So we're gonna wrap this up in a bit. Let me check through the chat. Let's see. Thank you, Ashley, for the love. We love Pops. Alizé with the emote. Thank you. All right. So before we wrap it up, when is the next time we could see either Jeremiah McCoy or Defro Jeffro in the ring? I know you said this Saturday is going to be at Division Pro.
Mm-hmm.
Where's that going to be at?
It's going to be in Orlando, Florida at LeBron's indoor batting cage.
All right. And shout out to Division Pro. So if you guys want to go see Defro Jeffro, if you've never seen him, please go ahead and check him out. He is an amazing talent. He's an amazing worker. Not because he's one of my best friends, but he legitimately is a freaking phenomenal worker. You can learn and watch a lot of the things when this happens. When is your retirement?
When is my retirement?
Yep.
I don't know. I told my wife I told my wife I was going to retire at 35, and here I am 40.
I know.
Your
body will tell you when it's time.
Oh, my body told me back at 35.
All right.
But you really don't know.
I know.
I told my wife, hey, at the end of 2020, and then COVID hit, kind of derailed that. I was like, all right, yeah, end of 2021. And now, I just, throughout 2021, like, all of a sudden, like, that break that we all had from COVID and everything, now all of a sudden things were starting to pick up, and then things kind of just slowed down. I was like, okay, so maybe one more year. Let's just put it out there, one more year. And now things are really amping up for me with, like I said, I got local pro wrestling. I've got Division Pro. I'm working with ARW.
Right.
I still have WXW. I'm in talks with a couple other promotions.
Alpha Omega. So cheap plug. So we're let me see.
Don't forget Riot.
Riot also, yeah. Shout out to Riot. Thank you so much for an amazing interview. Somebody said, Alizé. Yes, go ahead and follow Defro Jeffro. His fan page is up there. My sous chef and moderator Nita, she posted it up there for you guys. So if you want to go ahead and follow him, please follow him. Follow his work. Follow what he does and everything. Let me see. Thank you for being awesome. We love you, Defro. I am not. No, nobody cares.
What did she say?
Why did the Seven Dwarves get arrested?
That's your boo.
I know. That's why she'll never be interviewed. So
she tries to interview herself through the chat. That's exactly what it's going.
I know, but thank you for being here, man. I appreciate you taking the time.
No problem.
Again, follow my boy Defro Jeffro. I am your chef, Manny Fresh. Like always, peace, love, and chicken grease. I am the guy that punches you in the face and feeds you later. See you later, guys.